And so, information is leaking out of the Food and Drug Administration and/or the Center for Tobacco Products in regards to this flavor ban. It's not as bad as you think. Of course, a Juul is going to suffer greatly in this. When I lived back east in New Jersey, I had 7-Elevens. Here in Oklahoma, you have Quick Trips, Quicktrip, which is equivalent to the same thing as a 7-Eleven. And they have Juuls all the time. Quick Trip is very, very popular here in these particular states around Oklahoma. And many other convenience stores and gas stations as well. So Juul, which sells a lot of their products in gas stations and especially convenience stores, are going to suffer greatly. But, well, that's how the cookie crumbles. So anyway, I'm sure the Food and Drug Administration is going to put out their FDA statement on probably November 12th, 2018, or a day or two later, but I'm going to say probably the 12th of November. That's what I've been saying for the last few weeks. And so I'm going to read, this is off of foxnews.com. So it gives you a little bit of an inkling as to exactly what's going to happen. But he is definitely stepping up the pace. That is the FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb, as well as he's going to have some kind of a new type of age restriction for online sales. So it's going to get pretty nasty in the next couple, not couple, but next several months. This is really the beginning of when they are enforcing. These are actual enforcement actions, which the FDA, as well as the CTP, HHS, Health and Human Service Department, especially the FDA, they certainly have this power. I've been speaking about this power for, well over 2 years. And now that it's past August 8, 2018, they have really all the power in the world. So they could do this. Now, as I stated before, in order to have an outright online sales ban, they will have to, the FDA has to go through either a advance notice opposed rulemaking and a notice opposed rulemaking, or just a notice opposed rulemaking. Now, this funny thing here with the flavor ban, because this is basically what it is a flavor ban. The FDA did not complete the notice opposed rulemaking. They did the advance notice opposed rulemaking, but they never did the notice opposed rulemaking. But then again, the FDA hasn't really followed the way the federal statutes read anyway. But if you couple it with the fact that it's past August 8, 2018, the FDA, can pretty much, they not even pretty much, they can and will do whatever they like. And therefore, as far as federal statutes are on the books in regards to an advance notice opposed rulemaking, then a notice opposed rulemaking essentially goes out the window. It becomes nullified because of it's past August 8, 2018. So I'm going to read this to you. It's from foxnews.com. There's many other websites that are carrying this news, but I thought this was the simplest news article to just break it down, some basic pointers for you to understand what's about to come out next week. So it's this was published 7 hours ago. It says FDA to restrict e-cigarette flavors to fight teenage vaping epidemic. And that's what it says. Let me make this just a little bit bigger for you. Okay. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration next week will issue a ban on the sale of fruit and candy-flavored electronic cigarettes in convenience stores and gas stations. An agency official said in a move to counter a surge in teenage use of e-cigarettes. So it's only right now, at least, who knows what's going to happen in the next coming months. But for right now, this is automatically issued. It's not like, well, we're going to do this in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. No, this will happen the moment this FDA statement comes out next week. This ban in regards to fruit and candy flavored e-cigs in convenience stores and gas stations will take effect that day. So, and this is mainly leaked through an official agency official. I'm sure, not leaked illegally. I'm sure the FDA is sort of putting this out there for people to just sort of get accustomed to. And they're trying to counter this surge, this epidemic. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there is an epidemic, and those numbers are going to show it. They're not taking these types of steps without serious numbers, and they're going to show it. It says the ban means only tobacco, mint, and menthol flavors can be sold at these outlets, the agency official said, potentially dealing a major blow to Juul Labs Incorporated, the San Francisco-based market leader in vape devices. And like I was saying before, Juul Labs sells a lot of their products in convenience stores and gas stations. And they do have cream brulee. They have mango. Mango is a big one. They're going to take a serious dent into their profits. Goes on to say the FDA also will introduce stricter age verification requirements for online sales of e-cigarettes. The FDA's planned restrictions, first reported by the Washington Post and confirmed by Reuters by the official, do not apply to vape shops or other specialty retail stores. So vape shops that are offline, the brick and mortars won't be bothered, will not be affected by these particular restrictions, at least not right now. Maybe in the future, who knows? But for right now, as far as the age of verification, they're not going to stick it to the vape shops because according to the FDA, they have, for the most part, I mean, there's always, even the 1,300 FDA warning letters that went out, probably about 10% of it was vape shops that failed to age verify those under the age of 18. But for the most part, I mean, a good 90%, maybe even higher than that, a little bit higher than that. These vape shops, they have, one thing they have, dependent upon the state you're in, it's definitely, they don't allow any kids into their vape shops under the age of 18, let alone buy any vapor products. And it depends on the state. So you could be in California, so you can't be under the age of 21 years of age. And it's a lot easier to police and patrol, so to speak, and especially age verify purchasers that come into a vape shop. You can easily look at the ID, look at the person in front of you and match it up, whereas it is much more difficult doing so online. So for right now, they're leaving the vape shops alone. And then it says, there has been mounting pressure for action after preliminary federal data showed teenage use had surged more than 75% since last year. And the FDA has described it as an epidemic. I mean, 75%, more than 75%. I mean, there's definitely an epidemic. I don't care what anybody says. They could talk all they like. Yes, we have a serious problem with this teen surge. And the FDA is attempting to take measures to curtail that from happening now, into next year and the years thereafter. Now, so let's say they take these measures, they ban the candy and fruit flavors from convenience stores and gas stations. They have stricter age verifications verification systems online. Let's say they take all this, and then they'll wait. The FDA will wait for about 6 months to a year to see if these particular measures help. I mean, they're gonna implement other measures. Don't get me wrong, but they're going to watch the numbers, and if the numbers do not pan out, and there is still an epidemic or still a surge of teen usage of e-cigarettes or vapor products, then they'll probably kick in other things into place. So it's really a wait and see. I'm sure the FDA wants to know if these particular measures that they are going to take next week will curtail this teen surge. If it doesn't curtail the teen surge, then they'll just ramp up the restrictions even more. So it says FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb said in September, e-cigs have become an almost ubiquitous and dangerous trend among teens. The disturbing, accelerating trajectory of use we're seeing in youth and the resulting path to addiction must end. It's simply not tolerable. It goes on to say the growth has coincided with the rise of Juul, whose sales of vaping devices grew from 2.2 million in 2016 to 16.2 million devices last year, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The agency threatened in September to ban Juul and 4 other leading e-cigarette products unless their makers took steps to prevent use by minors. The FDA gave Juul and 4 big tobacco companies 60 days to submit plans to curb underage use, a compliance period that is now ending. And that, of course, ends on the 12th of November 2018. Apparently, whatever Juul submitted to the FDA was not feasible because Juul is going to suffer big time with this ban of vapor products outside of mint, menthol, and tobacco in convenience stores and gas stations. This is the reason why Altria pulled their particular products from the shelves about 2-3 weeks ago, because they knew this is what's going to happen. They're either going to be forced into that situation or they're going to voluntarily do it, and that's exactly what they did. They voluntarily pulled their products. And says the planned restrictions on flavors in convenience stores are likely to have the biggest impact on Juul, which sells nicotine liquid pods and flavors such as mango, mint, fruit, and cream, previously called creme brulee. They also have they used to call it a cool cucumber, and now it's called cucumber. A cucumber is a vegetable, but it's also going to be pulled. Maybe it'll stay on the market, but I doubt it. Mango, definitely one of their huge, that's their huge hit is the mango. That's going to be pulled from convenience stores and gas stations, along with the fruit. And the creme brulee, I guess that also will be pulled under the candy category. Not really sure of that. The only other e-cigarette competitors sold at convenience stores are those marketed primarily by tobacco companies such as Altria Group Incorporated, British American Tobacco, Imperial Brands, and Japan Tobacco Incorporated. Those products sold under the Mark 10, Blue, Vuse, and Logic brands have lost market share as Juul has risen to prominence over the last year, growing from 13.6% of the U.S. e-cigarette market in early 2017 to nearly 75% now, according to a Wells Fargo analysis of Nielsen retail data. E-cigarette products represent a small share of revenue for major tobacco companies, whereas Juul's business is built entirely on the vaping devices. Revenue from e-cigarette devices made up less than 1% of British American Tobacco's global revenue for the first 6 months of 2018. That's pretty pretty much here. Altria last month announced it would stop selling its pod-based electronic cigarettes to generally smaller devices that use pre-filled nicotine liquid cartridges in response to the FDA's concerns about teen usage. The company also said it would restrict flavors for its other e-cigarette products to tobacco, menthol, and mint. See, so they pretty much knew what was coming out. But then again, tobacco companies, combustible tobacco companies like Altria, pretty much know what the FDA is going to do because they very much work hand in hand since the Tobacco Control Act of 2009. Big Tobacco, Philip Morris, co-drafted the Family Smoking Prevention Tobacco Control Act of 2009. So this should not come as a surprise. And then Juul spokeswoman declined to comment along with the other brands. I wonder why. It didn't work out the way they wanted. It says Meredith Berkman, a founder of Parents Against Vaping E-Cigarettes, which seeks to curb underage use, said the agency move was a good first step, but added that the final step should have happened yesterday. Why not do away with flavors altogether? Why not do away with online sales altogether? And the thing with online sales, like I said, they have to go through a regulatory process. So they have to go through either an advanced notice opposed rulemaking and a notice opposed rulemaking, or a notice opposed rulemaking. There's a lot of things in the works that's going on right now. They're going to have novel nicotine replacement therapies being developed by Big Pharma. I spoke about this earlier, especially in the video Goodbye August 8th, 2022, Part 8. They have that. They have still bringing combusted cigarettes down to near zero as far as the nicotine levels. They have a lot of things in the works. So this is really the beginning. But the key to all of this is that the FDA, come next week, is taking a move that across the board, a flavor ban in a particular setting, and that is gas stations and convenience stores in regards to candy and fruit flavors. That's an actual enforcement action. And of course, they don't have to do FDA warning letters and all that crap. So apparently the statistics that they have point to the fact that the epidemic, the teen surge, has a lot to do with gas stations and convenience stores selling these flavored products, especially fruit and candy. So that's the reason why they targeted those particular areas, at least for right now. So we'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it. So yeah, so they are having a limited flavor ban, but not really exactly the way we thought it would be. But they certainly had, they are having a flavor ban, and they certainly have that power to do that. Don't ever think they don't. They can, and they are. And because it's passed, especially August 8, 2018. And what that also means judicially is that, let's say Juul has a problem with this, and Juul sues the FDA over it, Juul absolutely 110% is going to lose in a court of law. Absolutely, because it's past August 8, 2018. FDA holds, like I said in the other video, the FDA holds 110% of the power right now after August 8, 2018 in the vaping industry. And even Big Tobacco that puts out any vaping products hold absolutely zero power. Zero. You know, you would think, well, they have some power. Maybe 5%, maybe 20%. No, they have zero power after August 8, 2018. So, of course, when that comes out next week, I'll be doing a video of that particular FDA statement. Maybe it'll be worse than what's concocted in this particular news release on the Fox News or wherever you go. It's all over the place on the web. It may be as bad as what Fox News is saying, or it could be very well worse. Who knows exactly what the FDA has in store for us. So we'll see. But I think for right now, vape shops, they're going to watch vape shops offline very closely and see if the age verification process will curb this epidemic or teen surge. And hopefully that will help the situation out. You have to understand, the FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb has a legal, I don't know if people understand that, a legal duty to protect the youth at all costs, even to the detriment of adult vapors. That is his legal duty. So we have to understand that and accept that as a fact. Anyway, I just want to share this with you. You guys have a good one. See you around sometime. Bye-bye.